Have you ever felt a brilliant spark of an idea? A fire in your heart, ready to create something beautiful? What did you do with that spark? Did you shield it from the wind, or did you hold it up for everyone to see? There's a hidden danger in seeking applause for a fire that has not yet been built. This is the story of a woman who learned that the brightest flames are kindled in the quietest rooms. Once, in a city that celebrated noise and spectacle, there lived a young artist named Alena. Her heart was a gallery of brilliant, unfinished paintings. She saw the world in vibrant colors and bold strokes, and her sketchbook overflowed with breathtaking ideas. Lena's talent was undeniable, but she was trapped by a powerful need for approval. Whenever a new vision for a painting came to her, she wouldn't go to her canvas, she would go to her friends, her family, and the buzzing cafes where other artists gathered. "I have a new idea," she would announce, her eyes shining. "It will be a masterpiece, a portrait of the city at dawn, but the skyscrapers will be made of shimmering hope, and the streets will flow like rivers of forgotten dreams." Her friends would gasp. "Lena, that's genius," they would say. "You are so incredibly creative." The cafe would applaud. The praise felt like sunshine, warming her from the inside out. For a moment, she felt like the greatest artist in the world. She would go home that night, her mind buzzing with the validation. The feeling was intoxicating. She imagined the painting hanging in a famous gallery, the critics raving, her name becoming legendary. She would fall asleep, drunk on the promise of future glory. But in the stark light of morning, when she stood before the blank white canvas, a strange emptiness would greet her. The brilliant fire from the day before was now just a pile of cold ash. The praise she had received felt hollow. The canvas seemed to mock her, its white surface a vast, intimidating desert. The energy to mix the paints, to make the first difficult stroke, was simply gone. Days would pass, the grand idea of the city at dawn would fade, replaced by a new spark, and the cycle would begin again. She would describe a painting of a silent forest or a portrait of a lonely musician, and again she would be showered with praise, and again the canvas would remain untouched. Her studio became a graveyard of celebrated ideas. The world knew her as a brilliant artist, but only she knew the truth. She was a brilliant talker. Her success was a performance, and her applause was for a show that never truly began. A quiet shame began to build a wall around her heart. One rainy afternoon, feeling lost, Lena visited the city's oldest museum. She wandered through quiet halls filled with the masterworks of artists long gone. She wasn't looking for inspiration, she was looking for an escape. She found herself in a small, forgotten wing of the museum, in front of a single, unassuming painting. It depicted a simple wooden bowl filled with water. There was nothing spectacular about it, but the way the light hit the water, the texture of the wood, the depth and the shadows, it felt more real and more powerful than anything she had ever seen. The artist's name on the placard was simply Elias. There was no grand story, no dramatic history, just a name. Intrigued, Lena sought out the museum's elderly curator, a wise woman with kind eyes. "Tell me about Elias," Lena asked. "Was he famous? Did he have grand exhibitions?" The curator smiled softly. "Famous? No, not in his lifetime. Elias was a recluse. He almost never showed his work to anyone. He lived in a small cabin by the sea and painted for himself. He rarely spoke of his art. They say he believed that every word spoken about a painting before it was finished was a drop of color stolen from the canvas." Lena froze. A drop of color stolen from the canvas. The words echoed in the deepest chamber of her heart. The curator continued. "When he died, they found his cabin filled with hundreds of finished paintings. Paintings like this one, each one perfect,
each one complete. He wasn't seeking applause, he was seeking the truth within the paint. His energy wasn't spent on convincing the world of his genius, it was spent creating it. The work was the reward. Lena walked out of the museum into the rain, but she didn't feel the cold. The curator's words had lit a small, steady flame inside her. That night, she made a quiet vow. An idea had been stirring in her for weeks, a self-portrait, not of her face, but of her hands, stained with the ghosts of paint from canvases she had never started. It was a painful, honest idea. This time, she told no one. She locked her studio door. She muted her group chats. When friends asked what she was working on, she simply smiled and said, "Just experimenting with a few things." The first days were agony. The silence was deafening. The urge to share, to seek that rush of validation, was a physical craving. Her mind screamed for the easy satisfaction of praise, but she remembered Elias. She remembered the bowl of water. She mixed her paints. She made the first stroke. It felt clumsy. The next day, she added another layer. Some days were filled with frustration. She wanted to quit, to run to a cafe and describe the masterpiece it was supposed to be. But she stayed. She worked in silence, with only the canvas as her witness. Her energy, which she had always scattered like confetti into the world, was now a focused beam of light, channeled directly onto her work. The praise she craved was replaced by something quieter, but far more substantial: progress. Weeks turned into a month. The painting of her hands began to breathe. It was raw, vulnerable, and more honest than anything she had ever conceived. She captured the hopeful curve of a finger, the weary lines on her palm, the faint stains of colors representing her abandoned dreams. The day she added the final brushstroke, she didn't feel a triumphant rush of excitement. She felt a deep, quiet click inside her soul. She had not just finished a painting, she had finished a promise to herself. She sat on the floor of her studio and simply looked at it. The pride she felt was not a fragile, fleeting thing that depended on the world's reaction. It was solid. It was heavy. She had built it herself in silence. A week later, she quietly hung the painting in a small local art show. She didn't announce it. She didn't post about it online. She just let it be. People who walked past it would stop. They wouldn't gasp or applaud loudly. They would fall silent. They saw the story in the hands, the struggle, the regret, in the final, beautiful act of creation. The painting didn't need a grand explanation. It spoke for itself. Her art career didn't explode overnight, but something more important happened. Lena became an artist. She filled her studio not with praise, but with finished canvases. Her actions became her announcement. Her work became her voice. Now think about the sparks in your own life, the business you want to start, the book you want to write, the person you want to become. Are you wasting the fuel on describing the fire? The validation you get from talking about your dreams is a cheap imitation of the profound satisfaction of achieving them. It tricks your mind into believing the journey is over when it has not even begun. Protect your energy. Your dreams are tender seeds. They need the quiet darkness of focused effort to grow strong roots. Work in silence. Let your discipline be your only confidant. When your work is finally done, you will not need to announce it. Its existence will be the only announcement that matters. The world doesn't need to hear your promises. It is waiting to see your results.